Alright, so today's video, we're watching a Masters Zenyatta. First time doing that. I think we recently did a Junkrat a few weeks ago. Now we have a Zenyatta in Masters. This will be an interesting one. Alright, going for early right clicks. I'm fine with this. I mean, Zen with ball is fine here, in my opinion. So far, everything's fine. Racer's on you. Doing good. Positioning's pretty good. One thing I would suggest there, and obviously, maybe I wasn't getting the same vision that I could have had on that one. Try to find your Ana. Like, make it so you and your Ana are almost unkillable. You kind of separated yourself, so that way the Tracer was able to isolate you into a 1v1, and you tried, and they obviously pushed you, but I think if you stay with your Ana, you're gonna have a much easier time than just trying to, like, do what you just did. Now, if you're hitting 3 right clicks in a row, it's a little bit of a different story, but I feel like you should try to stay with your Ana a bit more. That's something I noticed right away right there. First, been okay. Your usage of the orb is good. You understand that the orb is a little bit different now. So the healing orb, for anybody who hasn't seen some of the Zen changes, lasts longer when they LOS you. LOS means line of sight. Oh, that's another thing I should probably do on the short I want to do. And then 2 is the Discord orb. Now, when they line of sight your Discord orb, you can't use it on that target for, I think, 7 seconds again. So there's multiple variations of Zen. Now you have extra HP, though, which is 225. I'm still okay with your position in here. I'm not too worried about this. I want you to get the high ground eventually, but I also told you to stick with your Ana, so let's just stick with your Ana for now. Believe it or not, that's a good scenario for you. Why is that happening? You got grabbed really close right there. Zarya used an ultimate, and the ball was on the point, so they didn't get as much value as they could have. If they were pushing the cart the whole time and they did that, it's a different story. We're watching. Oh, nice trying that. I understand why you did that. I'm not worried about it. I do want to pause for a second, though. And, like, I don't know if you're in comms or not. I mean, it's interesting because, like, people are like, what do you mean they're in Masters? I'm telling you right now, in top 500 games, sometimes I'll have games with one person in voice chat. Like, it just depends. This is one of those situations where when you lose a team fight like that, the best thing you can do as a team is communicate. Let's just wait a second. Don't give them free picks. And, like, for example, like, your Reaper went in there. I do this sometimes in top 500 games where I kind of, like, get too aggro before I really need to, especially when there's a lot of space. Like, it depends on a few things. If the card's closer than where it's at right now, this is a different story and how you're going to play it. But when you have that much time to go out there and retake, you can be patient because it's going to be one team fight no matter what. So giving them free picks, giving them free ult charge to use, etc. Like, you played close, Tracer Pulse Pump, right? Your Reaper played close, your Reaper fell over. So you're playing into, like, you're going to not have any team fights. Oh, you're on Brig too. Apparently you went Brig at one point. Let's see what happens here. Well, they use grab. Like mending a shadow. I like the Kiriko swap, by the way. I don't know if your teammates told you to not go Brig there. I don't mind Kiriko here. I do like Brig. I mean, Ana Brig is, like, really good, but I don't mind Kiriko here either. Playing for your team. Keep your Ana alive for now. Yeah, your teammates should just you're getting snowballed right now. I'm not even worried about this too much right now. So I'm restored. All right. Give me 1 second here. We need to take a timeout. Second of all, I do want to give credit to your Wrecking Ball for managing to keep that cart. They would have so much more time. The argument would be like, well, if we didn't have a Wrecking Ball, then they wouldn't have any time at all. Not guaranteed. Their team's rolling. Yeah, your ball has actually stalled this cart for so long that... Now, keep in mind, Wrecking Ball is in a spot where Wrecking Ball may not do as well as, like, you would normally see, but Ball's done an okay job at least stalling the point. B77, thanks for the 6 months of the Beach Process. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Ooh, that's a tough one. Like, this is a hindsight play, but I'm okay with you if you go in there and commit your Suzu to that Reaper ult. Because I feel like at that point, it's almost like an all-in play for you. I want to see how this team fight goes. if you lose this team fight, then I would say more than likely you should have just went in with your Reaper. And I know sometimes I say if your teammate makes a bad play, but like this is a certain spot where if you lose that team fight, you just lose the point, see? Like you're gonna get snowballed so hard that like, one, you saved your Kitsune, and two, if your teammate wants to make that play, just try to save them. Worst comes to worst, you both get wiped out and you go, why do we do that? But like, I think in that situation, you're fine to do that, especially in there, so. All right, so we'll see how you do it. We see you doing an attack there. You did get rolled that half, so like some of the things we talked about were very like small things that can be worked on, but we'll see how it goes because there's obviously plenty of time left in this game, and I want to be able to give you this. So there we go. This is a Masters game, by the way, chat. Just so you know.
Let's get this done. Hi. My gift to you.
So I want to pause, by the way, and this isn't about the Kiriko's gameplay here. This is like, you know how I've talked about, like, we just watched, so just to give a reference here, we just watched a plat game where I kept telling the player they needed to off angle and go for plays to like kind of like change how the team's playing. Do you see what the Kiriko's doing right here? This is a good play. This is an off angle. This is also like, if you look at the kit Kiriko has, if this Brig runs at them, they can just TP to their teammates. Do you see what I'm saying? This is in reference to what a good off angle could be and what it does. Now watch their team's reaction. Brig's already looking. Soldier 76 is going to have to react. This is going to go two ways. Your team's going to get rolled. You already lost one. The Ana's going to waste their cooldowns on you top right, and your ball's going to get the Soldier. That's step one. Might happen, might not. Two, they commit all your cooldowns, you reset, but you can do it again. So, it's the reset option. See? Taking this off angle's good. You're making them go for you. This is good. I don't mind this right now. Make sure you keep your other support alive, though. Okay, one thing I do want you to do, I don't mind the off angles, just try to, like, scan the map a few times when you're doing that. Just try to keep your map alive. It worked out. You're good. Like, looks like you're going to win this team fight, but that also shows you, chat, how good off angles are and, like, how that can benefit the team. So good start by your team. Good start by your team. You said any ideas for Zen bingo? My next bingo card. Actually, speaking of that, did we post to my YouTube community thing about what people want to see for the Lifeweaver gameplay bingo for next week? Because I'd rather do that now to get more. All right, good start. Good start. All right, stay on point for now. I'm okay with you being on point for now. The reason why is because you're going to be able to TP to your team if they really need help. It doesn't seem like you're going to want to TP up there right now based off of what I'm seeing. You have a Reaper now, watching your play. So far, by the way, I do want to point out, so far, like, I'm not really, like, looking at your gameplay and seeing anything, like too bad in these. You know what I mean? I think, like, your climb to GM is just going to come through some slight decision-making adjustments. More than anything else. But I'm not, like, I don't watch your gameplay and go, oh, like, this is going to take a bit. Like, I think you're close to, it feels like it's more of a matter of time before you're in GM. And yes, you can make slight improvements. That's what I'm feeling so far. Because, like, you're doing things that you would want to do correctly. You're also, like, to be honest, your team comp is a bit more difficult than what they're running. Like, if you look at their team, they're running Ana, Brig, Winston, Tracer, right? Any Masters GM game, if played correctly, is going to be a difficult comp. Because it can be a little bit difficult to be able to kind of get the back line and make a play off of the back line and things like that. So, like, it's not... like, your team comp isn't the best, but your team's making it work. To an extent. I say making it work, they have 3 minutes. But this is a long game, so clearly something happens. Okay. Okay, now I want to see you time a play here. Good job. Taking the high ground. That's fine. Yeah, this is just, nothing's happening. Like, right now, this is one of these rank games where nothing's happening in between. I think what you need to do now is I want you to, like almost lead off with this ultimate next team fight when you have everybody there. Actually, you might be able to do this soon. Don't mind the cleanse. Nice. Good job. Yeah, I want to see the ult soon, but like now they don't have to. Like, I wanted to see the ult prior, but now you don't have to. But you're fine. You don't even need an ult at this point because like you just won that team fight. But yes, an ultimate before that I would have liked to see. I would have liked to see Kitsune much before that. I want you to use Kitsune aggressively here now after the bubble's broken. Nice shot. Good job. Once the bubble's broken, just use your ult. This is like your all-in team fight on this part of the map. I think you win off of this if you just... Oh, wait, that time you went in with your Reaper, and I like that. Break the bubble. Once the bubble's dead, just ult. I just want the bubble to be dead because, like, people don't break the bubble ever. Ult. Don't be afraid to ult this. You're going to get your ult in third. Don't be afraid to ult this. I'm telling you right now. There's one thing I'm already seeing. Yeah, okay. So, I know that, like, and don't get me wrong, as you start to, like, scrim, and if you do decide to scrim or you're playing on a team already, you're going to hear a lot about, like, saving your ultimates, which is fine. And saving your ultimates, tracking your ultimates is a huge part of the game. In ranked, that type of, like, waiting on something changes a little bit. Like, you can use your ultimates way more and think about winning the team fight more than thinking about what your ult economy is sometimes. It doesn't mean, like, listen, I'll get into, like, the games where it's, like, OWL players, contenders players, and, like, you have to think about that a lot of times. But even then, you might see overalls happen just because, like, the team fight can be so important to win. In that situation, I think you really wanted to use your ult aggressively. You can use it right here. It's going to travel down.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Pick. All right, so nice job using your ult. But here's my take. I think you would already be on third point right now with an extra minute if you used your ult prior. As soon as a really good ultimate, your teammates are going to benefit from it. And I also want you to think about something too, because even when you're in like Masters, this is something that can, any rank, top 500, Masters, etc. One thing that can happen is that you can like, sometimes you can forget that your ultimate benefits your teammates more than what it will benefit for you. So sometimes I want you to think about, oh, I have a good Kitsune here, but like also think about how it benefits your team in that situation. Every rank will go through that with Kiriko, whether it's bronze, the top 500. Just always have it like in the back of your mind as Kiriko that your ultimate doesn't need to only benefit you, it will benefit your team. And think about it like this. If you're playing Overwatch and the other team Kitsunes, what's your reaction? Oh no? There's a Kitsune. You have to play back. You start to separate. You start to like, it becomes a lot harder to win that, right? So my point is use that to your advantage when you're on Kiriko, especially when they're not running a Kiriko. And why are they? And what does that mean? They can't run double Kiriko ults, right? Because sometimes what will happen is a Kitsune will happen. The other Kiriko will pop Kitsune. You have a Kitsune advantage the whole way through because they don't have that ultimate to counter. So remember that, all right? This is fine. What they're doing now is they're taking high ground control with their team. Kiriko doesn't need to be on cart. This is basically just working with a tracer. So sometimes you'll see this in like top 500, Masters, etc. You have a tracer and a Kiriko kind of work together, or like any hero at that, and you just like control map control. This is what they're doing. They're keeping the map. They're making sure nobody can push up there. They're sticking together. This keeps the tracer alive. Obviously, there's a pocket. I don't mind that cleanse at all. It prevents the one clip. You can always TP out of here if you need to. And there you go. Your TP. Your BAP needs to heal you, but like you're going to have the support passive very quickly. Not bad. Your BAP should have lamp. You should be good there. You might just be able to push. I was going to say, you're pushing that card in. That is just, honestly, I get to put the song on, and it's a Masters game. I want to point that out. It's a Masters game, and we get to put the song on. It could have easily touched the point. That actually was a lucky moment for your team because you ended up having an opportunity to have another attack now, which is good. As you can see, they now counter with Kiriko.
Like a gentle rain.
You can go for that off angle again if you want to. This is fine. Nice. That's fine. Hog no hook. Spam in there for some damage. Good job. Watching how you play this. Remember, you're... Ooh, okay. You're good, you're good. Nice boot by your ball. Slight reset. Perfect. Also, I want to point something out, chat. And this is something that I've talked about a little bit in, like, other ranks that we watched. You see how after they got the elim, their first reaction was like, go, 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 we got a pick! How they just took, like, 3 seconds to wait on a cooldown and be patient because you now have a 5v4. The worst thing you can do is go give them a free elim. So, like, what they did was they waited a second, got cooldowns, went back in. Right? And that's what you're seeing. This Tracer has no recall. They trying to kill supports. Ain't gonna happen. Brick flanking you. Don't be afraid to, like, switch step out of here, but I think you win that anyway. You're good. Good job.
I'll pretend I didn't see that.
See that, though? I've talked about that a bit before, but that's a good example to show you of where, like, when you get a pick, it doesn't mean that everybody just hits their button and goes aggressively in. It's okay to wait on your cooldowns, play it a little bit smarter, and go from there, so... that was ambitious. You know what that is right there? That is like the, you know how I always talk about how people like how players will play in overtime and like when we watch like bronze, silver, gold, etc. That is like the equivalent of what that is. It's like you kind of hit like this overtime and you feel like you have to go and do something, so you go and try to make this really aggressive play. Then in reality is not the play. That's like the equivalent of what that is. It's like, you're not like running to the cart one by one. It's just like, you're kind of like, oh, I gotta go do something. That's pretty much the Masters equivalent of that.
That's
I know
almost
they were
6
trying to save the
years.
wrecking ball at that point,
Crazy.
but I want to put it like in perspective of like that ball at that point is not going to be able to be saved in that situation. And if your wrecking ball dies to that and goes, why didn't you TP up to me in front of their whole team to try to Suzu me? That ain't going to be, that's not it, right? That's not going to be the play. You just got to remember the situation with overtime like that. Also, do you notice how the other team is giving space to the team pushing cart? This is what I mean. How overtime plays a lot differently in like Masters and Top 500. Because what's being recognized here now is the team fight's more important than running in there one by one, hoping that somebody like doesn't do something. Right? So that's why their whole team is kind of like taking their time, waiting for ults. Good Kitsune, by the way. This is great. It's overtime, so I don't mind this. You should win this team fight unless they have anything ult-wise. No, you're good. And your Mei might build another ult. You might just steamroll this. Don't be afraid to waste a cleanse here if you see people getting low that need it. I think you'll be fine. I'm looking at their ults. You're fine for now unless they high noon, but if high noon gets you, then yeah. There you go. That's why you see that cleanse. I call that like a cleanse of like... It's not wasted, but you can waste it, if that makes sense. Because you're in a spot where like you just need to win the team fight, and the last thing you want to do is give them a free pick. If they went off of like a high noon or like close range of that, you're fine. So I'm fine with that. And your Mei has another ult, so you have good ults going in. It just guarantees you win the team fight. Because if you win the team fight in overtime spawns, your Kitsune will be up in time. Now, obviously, there's like outliers that can happen there, like a Tracer comes in and pulse bombs 3 of you and you don't have it. But if that happens, I find that to be more of a good play by Tracer than a bad play by you. You know what I mean? Why is ball on the payload? I can pause and tell you right now. There's no reason for the ball to get off the payload right now. This part of the map is not a good part of the map for Wrecking Ball. So anything this ball will do will feed. Now obviously the Somber Swap makes the play even seem better. Like, this is not an advantageous, like, place for the Wrecking Ball. So the Wrecking Ball just stays cart because it's more along the lines of if the ball goes in, they're going to feed. They have to time the play. They have to time the play more than anything. It's not going to be just, like, go in because that team is going to immediately hack them and that ball's going back to spawn. I'd rather take the chances of having a ball play close here where you can kind of assist them and heal them than try to, like, go back to what happened right at the beginning of overtime on this one. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna, yeah, I was gonna say, this is gonna be a tough team fight to win anyway. This is where they start to ult stack you. Like, and their comp's a little bit better here, but like, that's not bad, right? That was a good play. Like, your team did well there, so. All right, let's see how your defense goes. Obviously, there's a lot of time left in this game, so you could win this, you might not. We'll find out. Do I feel like supports are holding tank backs from shining? On what team? Wait. What team are you referencing? Are you referencing the other team's supports or your supports? And in general, not really. No, I think tanks are just in a spot where, like, Your playmaking ability has been reduced a ton since the beginning of Overwatch 2, so you just can't make as many plays, so you're reliant on waiting on stuff to happen. Every rank and every game will feel different on that one. I think, like, for example, in top 500 right now, like, a common reoccurrence we're seeing is because they buff Sojourn, you're seeing pocketed Sojourns run around the map and get 40 limbs. As a tank, in those situations, you're there just to, like, hopefully absorb the damage for your team, hoping they can do the same. You know what I mean? So that's not even gonna be on supports at that point. It's just like, I don't know. Tanks are in an interesting spot.
My gift to you.
So if you're wondering why everybody's here, the reason why they're playing close is because they have a Mei. So this is more than likely a call from the Mei that we should play close. Now, you know how I've talked about how, like, in top 500, in Masters, etc., like, you'll play a little bit further back and give them a little bit more space. The reason why this is happening is what they're trying to do is create a bit of bringing value to the heroes you have. So their team is committed to the idea of, we're going to play close, we're going to buy as much time as we can, and that should give us an opportunity to win this game completely, right? Because they have time. They're not going to be in overtime spawns for 2 minutes. They have time. They just need to stack ults, build ults. There's a Sombra they have to worry about. That's about it. The more the Tracer and Sombra go behind if they can't get the free picks. And now that they've gone back there, now they're starting to fall back, right? To an extent. I think maybe you might be with your Tracer too much in this right here. Good cleanse. I think it forced a little bit. Speaking of holding ultimates, this is going great. Ooh, nice shots. Make sure to ping them if you didn't. I don't know if you did. I don't think I saw a ping, but get in the habit of that. Especially as Kiriko, like, that follow-up on your shots can be, like, really good. Don't waste any ults here. Nice. It can be very enticing, especially when we talk about that overtime style of Overwatch. I love how I say that as I watch your Mei just throw their ult down in, like, an unwinnable situation there. It's okay to ult stack a little bit. Still play aggressive. Pop your ultimates if you get a pick, but it's okay to save your ults. Right now that you've gone it down to this time, this game is now in your favor. Right now, it's like you can literally ult stack 2 fights, run at them. If you run at their team right now, especially with their team, they're gonna have to ult if they want to win. If they don't ult, then they're either gonna just get grinded down and lose that, or your team is gonna have 5 ults. So they're gonna be forced to ult you. So you're gonna want to take a team fight right around. Let me pause very quickly. Here, if possible. Keep in mind, look at your team comp. You're not going to benefit from just sitting up here outside of, like, your BAP. You're going to want a team engagement right around here. You're doing that to force this team to use their ultimates. This can go for any rank. You want to force them to use their ultimates so that way you can stack your ults. You commit to the idea of stacking your ultimates, and if for some reason you get an early pick, then you can use your ultimates to win the game. But this is one of those, what they would call, like, more of like a dry fight, where you're going to spend time just trying to get your ball out, get more Mei out, get window going. You can go for a pulse bomb. I wouldn't worry about pulse bomb here. Pulse bomb you can get fairly quickly and also can kind of open up for that engagement. So when I say saving ultimates, I'm not going to count pulse bomb during this, okay? So consider your ult pool right now just Kiriko ult, and I don't think you need to use it. We'll see what happens, though. Your ball's going to take that fight early. I'm telling you. And there you go. The Mei's going to drop down very soon. There you go. Mei's dropping down. Your team's going exactly where we want to see them. Remember, at this point, for your team, you want to get ults out. Now, if they don't use ults, it's a good play by the other team.
What's
You don't have to counter this ult. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay. Problem you're going to run into, they have EMP. So you might have to take one more team fight. My suggestion here... Kitsune this. You have Kitsune advantage. Heck it. Go for it. Kitsune it. I think you can do this. They're gonna EMP, but you can Kitsune. Yep. Back away as much as you can. They're gonna EMP. Decent cleanse. I'm okay with this so far. Your ball has ult coming up. This is good. Nice heals. Good pop shots there. What I mean by pop shots is like just going for random shots. Perfect. Love to see it. Wonderful! Wonderful!
Come on. Under my protection. Lost away.
That was perfect. That's what I mean. Do you see how, like, you take that one, that one, what you would like, it's, like I said, usually called like a dry fight in Overwatch. When you take that fight, and then the reason why I wanted you to Kitsune that is because because they already used their Kitsune, they're probably not going to build one up in time by the next team fight. So at the very least, you're now getting rid of the one ultimate that will prevent the Mei ult you're eventually going to have, which, by the way, EMP can get rid of that now. So what that does is that's going to give you the opportunity to come back, not have to worry about EMP, and more than likely put your team into an advantageous situation, which is and at the very least, you have a window. So at that point, that's why you lead with Kitsune, because the other team has to react like that, and it went really well. So I would say that was that was well played. I truthfully think that outside of the things that we mentioned, you're probably going to climb. Like, up to GM. I think you're probably in that GM territory already. Now it's just grinding to get those wins. But, like, you played that fairly well. There was a couple things we mentioned, a couple, plays you made here and there. But, like, I mean, even me in top 500 games, I'll make plays like that sometimes. Like, it's not gonna be perfect every time with how you play. It's just trying to improve on some of those things and minimize on how much you do that. Not bad. You got this. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 channels if you haven't. Everyday uploads on there. We have the videos are awesome. Make sure to check them out. If you want to submit your own spectate, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you can submit these codes. We record these live on stream. You can see the Twitch chat right below the webcam there, so make sure to stop by the Twitch chat. We have a lot of fun here. If you see that one person in the chat saying something there, they've been saying that every video. If you notice everybody else is not doing that, they just apparently that's something they've decided to do, and that's their bit apparently. With that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.